What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week. Oh, yeah. Man, what a crazy July that was. But none other. I definitely have one wild August coming up. Actually, me and my family have one wild August already started, and it's already been nuts from the go. So, I mean, a lot of you know that I'm a point fighter and that I just literally I went to a big tournament, the Summer Shiai. So, you want to go back and listen to that Summer Shiai where I took first place. I actually have back to back first place in the last two tournaments. And I've had some good competition, some familiar competition. My buddy Bob, well, I mean, more of acquaintance at the karate school, but me and him are cool, our face on Facebook and stuff like that. But we've had two fights in the last 2 months. I've been able to get the better of him on that. And again, it's just kind of one of those things you don't know where the points will fall that day. It comes down where the judges are sometimes, and that makes it kind of fun. But man, that kind of really just started off because that was the end of July, right? And then we've been training hard, and you're gonna lead to something else here. So man, SummerSlam, you got to go check that podcast out. The great times that we had there. C4 Energy, thank you for being wild, putting me on your Twitter, to X, Twix, whatever you want to call it, putting me on your social media, doing my little dance, Yeah. Woo! Man, that was a great one. You could tell that this ain't going to be too much sports oriented, but there is going to be some sports mentioned. So we'll get to that real soon here. And once again, I had a great time with my daughter, Dan, his wife, Leanne, and of course, my daughter's friend and Dan's friend too. So Dan, he had been working on this for a while, and things came through for him, and it was because of him that me and my daughter Minnie were able to go to not only one of the big four WWE pay-per-views, SummerSlam, which I've always loved SummerSlam. I remember for a long time I always wanted like SummerSlam. I wanted to do a SummerSlam outside with a fire TV outside. I finally got it. This one. And then when the last match started, rain kind of came in. So we just kind of wrapped things up, all went in, and then we partied the rest of the night. Yeah. Right. So we had so much fun. And I want to thank Dan again for that. So, as part of my thanks to Dan, the second week of August, being the Fantasy Football Expo that's in Canton, Ohio, thrown by a big guy fantasy, and that's ran by Bob Lung. So, he was, I went there a couple of years ago when Dr. Roto first started. Bob was part of Dr. Roto at that time. And since then, he's moved on. He just does his own thing. Practically his own entity anyway. So it was really nice. It was fun. I'm not really I don't need to go for the expo, so I'm not going to go pay for the expo, but it's definitely a great price. You get a shirt, you get all the different magnets and cool body openers and koozies. And I can't tell you, you get a lot of stuff. Plus, you get entry into the the Football Hall of Fame. So just between the Football Hall of Fame and the shirt, you already pay for your money, right? So, that's good. I'm taking Dan. And I was like, so, what you did, that was cool. Let me extend my gratitude to you. And so he is actually, this will be the first time ever he's went to the Football Hall of Fame. I'm like, what? It's like my fifth time. Like, I seen it back in like early 90s when it was like old, and now it's just super high tech looking and got all this thing. I remember when the store was just this little room. Now the store is like, bing, man, so much craziness. But it's great that I'm gonna be able to meet other fantasy enthusiasts and other experts too. I really hope Jeff Mans kind of comes up there too. And I know, like, I've met a lot of fantasy guys. I haven't met Dr. Roto in person yet, but I talk to Doc a lot. I can talk to Doc all the time. I mean, I'll work for Doc. It's it's a no-brainer, right? Yeah. But it's like but I've never got to meet Jeff. And Jeff was one of the guys like, Lenny Melnick back in the day, and Bob Harris. Like Bob Harris, remember me calling in all the time back in the day. That Tony Sincata, Ray Flowers. I remember Ray Flowers. I would send him a message, and then he would like send a message back. And he was like, oh, no, this is how it works. And that's when I was first on, at the time it was Twitter. And I didn't understand that whole, like, he was like messaging me, and then he would reply back to me on the actual internet. And I was like, what? I was so weird. So weird. But since then I'm a ex-pro now. Oh yeah. We wouldn't expect anything from the champion. Yeah. So, yeah, I am the champion. There's, a lot of trophies behind this green screen to prove for it. And I ain't gonna talk. I ain't gonna talk. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But my agenda is to go there, just meet up, have this experience with Dan, and then see where they're going afterwards, and go have dinner and drinks, just drinks mostly. Maybe eat. We're definitely gonna eat, and then from there, me and Dan are gonna make a decision. Right now, I have a hotel booked. I'm thinking about just canceling. Just if they, at that point, I'll have seen everybody, so I'll just make my way out back home. Me and Dan come home. We don't really need to drink too much. It'll all be done anyway. We'll have a couple beers, chill out, and then we'll go. Right. Or we just, kind of hang out and do our thing down there, which is kind of cool. We'll probably end up doing that. But the option goes both ways. But I only have a certain amount of time to cancel. So once I'm locked in, I'm locked in. Yeah. So, but really, I'm just going there to just go to the Football Hall of Fame and chill out with a bunch of fantasy people. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And that's all we're going to do. And so, to be able to do that with him and him experience is kind of like one of a kind experience. Because really, if you're a fantasy football expert, fantasy sports period, but mostly football because it is football, you want to go there. You want to just meet because everybody is really, they're pretty cool dudes. I mean, you got Nick Ranacano there. You got everybody is there. Sirius XM is live. They do the Kings Classic draft there. So there's going to be so much stuff going on, man. I can't wait to do it, Dan. Can't wait, buddy. Yeah. Woo! All right. That leads to my next weekend. So we're 3 weeks into August. Man, I know this one. I was like, I thought about not doing this podcast. I want to keep it for Thursday, but I want to do this and keep Thursday easy because I want to go into this weekend easy, right? So, man, I'm just a weekend of rest. Guess what? Might have to go up there, man. Might have to go up there. But Minnie is going to be actually going to Pittsburgh to hang out with them. So it's kind of like a wide open thing. And me and my wife got our passports. So we can literally go to Canada. Oh, we haven't been to Canada. I don't know what's going to happen when I'm on Clifton Hill again, man. I might have to go up to somebody and go, hey, let me just say, hey. I just want to hear it. And they'd be like, boy, you're a crazy guy, eh? And I'd be like, yeah. Hopefully I can do something. But me and my wife are going to do something because it's really needed. This is like one of those things where this summer has been so busy. We've had 2 tournaments. We're doing 3 tournaments. And this, we get a little break, right? Once this tournament is done on the 24th, me and Minnie don't really have to worry anything until October 5th. And I'm pretty sure we're not doing anything in November. And then it's the beginning of December 3rd. So we're going to have a longer break instead of 3 weeks to get ready for the next tournament. Plus, me and her fight. Like, we fight twice a week, 4 times overall at the school in a week. But me and her go to 2 of those, and we do a kata class and our stamina and 4 our regular karate training class on Monday. And, we're just really working hard, doing our thing. So we really need this weekend off because the following weekend is going to be that next tournament, the next karate tournament that is actually in my hometown of Erie, Pennsylvania. But it's also going to be the last weekend before school. So it's just a crazy kind of time and getting back into life. And, so I'm taking my gloves off on this one. I'm just letting y'all know, like, hey, it's going to happen because what I'm explaining to all of you right now, there's going to be still baseball content. My Hetastic bets of the day. Oh, yeah. On Friday, winning that money up 15 units. It's been a crazy ride. It's been back and forth, but I'm gaining, right? And I get my football content. And I'm telling you right now, go check the numbers. Go check the pay lines last year and go check all of my DFS lineups that I gave out in works with my macho pick of the week. That's on my Bring the Pain Hit show because I always call somebody out on that show. And then I do my Ultra Contrarian show. And on that show, I on a FanDuel, I think I went 95% hit rate on my cash. And FanDuel, I won. Yeah, it was FanDuel. And 4 lineups, I think the whole year, 4 lineups didn't cash or something like that. So that was like maybe 4 weeks. But mind you, I went all the way into Super Bowl. And in the Super Bowl, my DK lineup missed. That one missed. But of course, I had some hit. because, you just play the rarities off of everything else. But my FanDuel one hit, right? And then the previous week, my FanDuel and my DraftKings hit. This is the playoffs. And then the previous week, DraftKings didn't hit. And the previous week, FanDuel hit. And when you go back and you hit everything and you look at what I put out, the content I put out, if you'd have played 50-50s, even triple ups, if you'd have played triple ups, you'd have won over 85% of the time with both sides combined, maybe 80%. That is an outstanding. Nobody did it. Nobody gives out full lineups. I'm not saying they're scared. They're just scared that a bunch of you are going to come after them. But you know what? People like me don't care because I got a whole podcast, a hit show that I can just bring the pain and call you out on because that's what I can do. I can do that. I can make things that make me a job and I can mess you up. But guess what? Sometimes I don't need that dirt on my shoulder. Yeah. Woo! Man, battle for the crown. Erie, Pennsylvania. I won it last year. I got the medal right here, right there. I'm pointing at it. I don't want to move it though, because I got it all nicely put up on my little Rams things and my little thing. Yeah. Right. But yeah, I've been working hard in the JoJo, and so is my daughter, man. And we're just getting better and better and better, man. She overheard, my last opponent saying that I've changed. And when I looked at that video, I've changed every single time. I not only become more aggressive, but controlled. There was, if I won't release the video because I don't want people to really know my moves and things like that. Some people do try to see my stuff. And I put some of my moves out there, but practically they can all go to somebody at that tournament and they'll tell them, oh, yeah, that guy blitzes a lot. There you go. I blitz. I don't always have to blitz. I just know that I'm faster, tougher, and meaner, and I fought big competition, and I'm pretty sure that overall, that's actually that's a turtle tank I made. 6 foot by 3 foot. It's insane. It's like a whole turtle aquarium, right? So anyway, hey, whatever. I can show that part off, but man, I like this as my background a lot more. Sorry about that. So, but that same day after I go there, win or lose, because like I said, you never know what the points are going to be. You just got to make sure you're in the fight and that you're staying active. Active. That's the key word, active. And that's what my video was. It showed a lot of activity. And when I got up big, you could see that I was still using the same moves, but I was just coming over and I was just going like that. Because if I release that punch, I am throwing my opponent. I'm knocking my opponent. I can knock him out, but I don't want to do that. I can knock him out of the ring, and I had already knocked him almost out of the ring. I knocked him on the table in that fight. So it was clear that I was fighting at a level that was a lot higher than he was used to with me, and I was used to. So it just shows, again, the training that we've been doing. So hopefully that training works out for me and my daughter, Minnie, at the Battle for the Crown in Erie, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Woo! Bring the pain. And but that same day, so after I do this tournament, lucky I don't have a drive back because I have my hometown big league. Well, both my leagues are about the same, high stakes. But I gotta give up the championship. I came into last year the champion, Machos Hichiados.
Yeah, what do you know about me being the champion?
So yeah, it was like, so I gotta do that draft. And then at 4:30 the next day, I got my McDonald's draft, the one that I've been in since 1994. So I get to get all my drafts done in one weekend. Then I got to be there in for person. But it just adds, again, another weekend just totally filled with craziness. And that's why having that last weekend where, Minnie takes that little trip and being able to spend that time with my wife alone, it means a lot. It's going to mean a lot because there's just so much coming up. And then after all that is done, it is Labor Day weekend. Football will be coming back. All of my articles, my IDP heats of the week, of course, that drops on Thursdays. And then, of course, you can look for all of the cheat sheet options from what we always do. So me, Doc, Trevor, Lou, everybody gives their lineups in their DFS plays, a high, mid, low, each position. We release that right around Thursday. And then maybe Saturday. And everybody, of course, everybody else's articles are back. Alicia's back, so she's ready to bring the pain. She had to take some time off. And that's sometimes you got to take, you got to recharge. Normally I recharge, but I noticed that I lose a lot of my pain bringers, all of you. So I thank you that you stayed here and that you've listened to my podcast and that you actually care to make money, because I'm trying to make you money. I'm trying to make you a better player at fantasy football. You don't even have to win money, a free league just see where you're at as a skill level as a player. That's everything we teach at Dr. Roto. We teach you how to become the expert. It's not so much that, we don't have your back, but I can tell you right now, ever since that we had the staff draft the other night, that's live. You can catch that on our YouTube at drroto.com on YouTube. We just had our staff draft. Since then, it's been nonstop keeper questions. This is the season. This is what people are paying for, and this is what we're going to give them. And we want to give it to them better than anybody, because we're the only site that is allowed to write prescription notes. Yeah, man, I can't wait till Labor Day weekend. I mean, that's going to be all the prep, and of course, my hard hits and cool picks article. Now, these are all articles, right? So you get my hard hits and cool picks article on Tuesday or on Monday, right? Tuesday, you get my podcast for that, the review. So that's what this podcast is gonna, or my Heatastic review. That's gonna end up being that. And so, but of course, it's gonna be, so when I do the review, I talk about my article, and then you can read my article, and then you have my podcast, and then waiver wire hits later Tuesday night. So that's really big for all of you. And at the same time, you get those defensive players, you get your IDP, because last year, another outstanding hit rate. I know that people call themselves all these different IDP names. I'm literally the IDP hero. I don't care what anybody says. I claim the fame. Heat override is it. And I want to say thank you to all the staff at Dr. Roto for thanking me for the IDP things and all the stuff that I've been given, like my IDP knowledge. They all thanked me on our live stream the other day for the draft. I thought that was really cool. A lot of people thank me all the time in my room and I have my own little thing, but it feels good when your own colleagues are like, I don't even know anything about IDP, but, and then Lou said this and he goes, but reading your articles, he goes, man, he's just like that. So it's good that, and I read Lou's articles, I read Doc's articles, I read Justin's articles, I read Trevor's articles, I read Cam's articles, I read everybody's articles. I can look, there's like so many people to talk about. I mean, Coach White, and then I mean, we're not even talking about the one and done crew, the green screen mafia, whatever they call it, green screen train. Sorry, guys. It's so much fun going on at Dr. Roto right now. And that's going to be the weekend. Labor Day weekend is going to be where all this stuff's going to be hitting. And then bam, from right there, you're going to have all of your plays. And that's one big thing at Dr. Roto. Again, getting to the Discord, have all year long, I had about 4 or 5 people in there that were literally asking me IDP questions. The one dude didn't even know I did IDP. He was like, oh, I just thought that was just the thing. I was like, dude. And then so it got so bad in the regular room. That's why Danger had to make my own separate room, because he said it. He's just like, Rob, you guys are crazy with this defensive talk. People want to talk about quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers. And here we're talking about Roquan Smith and Jaquan Brisker and so much. But that was so fun the other day when we were drafting defenses during that draft. And Lou had said the Giants do have a really good 7. He was like, they probably have the best front 7 in football. And I'm like, nah, that's the Steelers. To me, it could be the Bears. I think the Bears really have it up there. I really want to see the Steelers do with what they got, because having Highsmith and TJ Watt and then bringing in Patrick Queen and having Elandon Roberts on that team at the same time, you got Cole Holcomb coming back. You have so many defensive players on this team. You don't even got to talk about Minka Fitzpatrick or Joey Porter Jr., who's now, got that second year under him. And just the way he played, he went at people, trying to be Sauce Gardner-like in a way. He knew that he wants to be that shutdown corner for the Steelers. So, that really means a lot to me to be able to play. And last year when I was able to work and start people would give me, hey, do I start this guy? And I'd be like, hey, start this guy. And then seeing pick sixes or fumble or having a 2-sack game and just getting that thanks at the end of the week, that thanks goes a long way. It makes me feel like what I do actually means something to a lot of you. So I want to thank all of the staff at Dr. Roto for their kind comments during the draft. That really meant a lot to me. And I want to thank all of my pain bringers, all of my supporters, all the people in Erie, all the people who were on my hometown series. I really on the August 17th, I want to do one more hometown series because I know after this it's gonna be chaos. So I want to get my buddy Kane on. Well, I don't think I'll be able to get my buddy Russ on because he does baseball and he's up to his ears with baseball. And then it's gonna be getting back to school and he teaches. So it's just so much going on right now, and that's it. I just want everybody to have a great day and always remember to bring the pain. Yeah.